Welcome back to Good Morning Ghana. Let's go straight into the SIM card re-registration, which has been extended to September 30. But a few videos maybe from Ursula Usu, and then we will go into the discussion.
The SIM registration app will be available for download on both Android and iOS this week, barring any unforeseen circumstances. Each registration via the app will be subject to a 5 cedi surcharge. You will pay 5 cedis to register yourself on the SIM registration app. Non-resident Ghanaians who do not have the Ghana card can use their passports to complete the process via the app, but will be required to update their details with the Ghana card once they acquire it. They have up till December 2022 to do so. I urge them to comply with these directives and to contact the NCA if they have any peculiar challenges. Ghanaians on official assignment outside the country or students on scholarships who cannot acquire the Ghana card by December should also contact the NCA. Special provision has already been made for members of the diplomatic corps in consultation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, and they have been notified. It's also come to my knowledge that amputees and others who have some physical challenge are also a category of persons who are having some difficulties registering their SIMs. We will have discussions with the NIA on how to resolve these challenges. All visitors to Ghana can now acquire SIMs with their passports, and I encourage the airport authority to work with the network operators to provide adequate venues for the acquisition of SIMs at the airport. As indicated earlier, these will be valid for 3 months, and if they want to use them for a longer period, they must acquire the non-citizen ID card to validate their SIMs.
Lara, I'll start with you. Yes. SIM card registration.
Yes, Annie, yesterday, the Minister responsible for communication and digitalization had her turn at the Meet the Press series that's organized by the Ministry of Information. And she dealt with 3 issues. I mean, the most topical one is SIM registration, but she dealt with 3 issues that are equally, 2 other issues in addition to the SIM registration, which was rural telephony and girls in ICT. And I think those are also issues that are worth bringing to the fore. I mean, when you take rural telephony, when we access, we all know whenever we go across rural communities, we have challenges with accessing the internet and all that. There are even some places that there's one big tree or one particular spot that everybody hangs their phone or put their device to have access to mobile network services and all that. So the rural telephony and digital inclusion project was launched in November 2020 to put up 2016 cell sites, because most of these, the MNOs that come in are private entities. They build their infrastructure based on profitability mainly. And looking at the sparse nature and the population in rural areas, sometimes it's not prudent. They don't find it prudent to put some of their cell sites, their infrastructure there. So that's what led to the Ghana Rural Telephony and Digital Inclusion Project. And out of the 2016 sites that were planned, so far we have 890 of them built, and we have 403 of them that are active. And because when we came to power, there are about 4.5 to 5 million citizens that didn't have access to any form of mobile network or access to data or telephony services. And the first phase is supposed to take care of about 3.5. Then the second phase, the first phase will end in 2023. So after that, the second phase also take care of about 1.1 million. And so some of these interventions must be known. The one that is most is dearest to me is girls in ICT. We all know the contribution technology is playing in our society now, and it hasn't been more pronounced than in the past 2 years that we've had issues with kids being out of school.
You have quite a number of projects pushing into 2024. You have quite a number of projects pushing into 2024. Yes. I know, I mean, I asked the Deputy Minister for Roads and, was it Roads and Highways or Roads and yeah. He also said that the tolls that we're saying are coming back. He told me they were coming back in 2024. The road tolls. The road tolls for specific roads. Like the one that was mentioned with the Tema Motorway, which is a PPP project. And you told it to make up the cost. So saying tolls are coming back, I think let's put it in context, but that's not what we're dealing with now. It's girls in ICT that I was I actually asked you about SIM card, but you're going on in girls in ICT.
No, but that was part of the
minister. I'm not picking on that.
I picked on the minister address. I'm sorry. Minister made the press.
Laratu. I'm sorry, but the SIM card is urgent because of the nature of it
all these
today.
Things, the SIM card has a bearing on all these things.
The girls in ICT will have an eventual impact, but for now, we're dealing with an issue. We're dealing with an issue that the minister says there's a closing date on it.
Yes.
So people must know what is involved, and I don't want you to avoid that and try to put in girls in ICT. That is a long-lasting policy. We're going to be dealing with it in due course, but this has a deadline on it, so let's deal with it now.
You see, that is how we miss some of these things that also have a bearing on and make an impact on the lives of citizens in this country. And I'll come to the same. I'm in no way good. The agency I work with falls under the con. So the girls in ICT then about 50. I just want to make it clear. Let's go to the same card registration. We've had issues with the influx of technology, especially in the wake of COVID and all its attending issues. Technology became the most convenient way to render services and receive same. And we came with even before COVID, digitalization was a huge agenda for us when we came in 2017, after the 2016 election. We've had issues with SIM card fraud, identity theft, and all kinds of fraud. Especially the most common one is Momo fraud. They even call you, and when they are not able to get you, they insult you on top. No. So that led to getting these SIM cards registered and having a SIM card register with a certain level of integrity. So the SIM card registration, re-registration of SIM card was launched and started on 1st October 2021 and was supposed to end in March. In March, we had a chunk of citizens, over 7.5 million, who hadn't registered their SIMs. So it was extended to July. And so ideally, SIM cards that hadn't been registered by midnight should have been blocked. And that's what led to this engagement. It's been extended to 30th September, but it comes with intervention because when the rollout started, there was a lot of feedback for citizens abroad. I remember reading someone talking about being in school on scholarship, wasn't able to get his Ghana card, and still wants to keep his SIM card and all that. So most of these feedback was taken into
consideration. Let me give you some of the figures. Come again. Let me give you some of the figures. You know, it has stages. It has stages. You link it to your Ghana card before you go to the MNO, and they do the second stage of the processes. There are some people who didn't attempt to register.
Why is it a country that today we are dealing so much with digitalization procedures, and we cannot make this simple for the normal citizen, and we're making it so cumbersome? We have TIN registration, we have SNIT registration, we have passports. Our chips itself have been registered by the telcos, and the government could not put a system that could capture all these registered SIMs and even do the re-registration itself. There's no technology to do that, but we have to start it all over again as though we have no biometric data anywhere to assist the government do this procedure by easing the pressure in the lives of the citizen. We're moving people from one place, place to the other. I have one lady here who went to register just about a few days ago. She was told to come back for her card in 5 months. And we're just waiting for the minister to say, we blocked your chip. And then we just head to court. Because if you make the system simple, it should be simple for people to register. But you make it difficult. We're not saying, I was one of the advocates for ID cards and national ID cards. The moment the president was sworn in, I wrote an article on that.
Honey.
But the issues that are coming up, let's not pretend to dance around the issues and make it look like somebody doesn't want us to get national ID. No, that's not what we're saying. For national ID cards, for people to have, why should we even have a deadline to it? And we're putting pressure on people as if Ghana is collapsing tomorrow.
Honey, at least we're on the same page when it comes to getting a national ID. We're on the same page. And national ID is important to our growth as a nation. We are on the same page. Technology has advanced so much, we virtually cannot lead with it. But just as we have unscrupulous people, we have thieves, we have people who physically harm us, of defrauders and all that. With the influx of technology, they've moved into their space to do what they are doing. Some years back, nobody could steal money on your phone, technically. It's either your wallet is picked, someone picks from your bag or something. So as technology advances, these same people also advance. Every good thing comes with a downside. In the past years, one of the most difficult ones has been Momo fraud. How do you curb that?
So this pressure on us is because of Momo fraud?
I'm just using it as an example. No, but there's identity theft and all that. People using SIM cards just because it can be traced to threaten people. People using them to send all kinds of messages.
Why have we not been able to use biometric data already collected by persons who have? If you have a bank account, you have biometric data with that account. You have your TIN.
Your biometric data from where?
You have your what's it called? You have your TIN number. You have your passport. You have biometric data on your passport.
No,
you have your. Don't you have biometric data collected on
when you're
passport?
taking a TIN, until TIN was linked to Ghana card, right? I don't remember my biometric data being taken when else.
I'm saying that you have biometric data collected.
Yes, but your biometric data is collected when you're getting your Ghana card.
I don't remember, nobody took biometric data when they were registering my TIN. But now that your Ghana card is linked to your TIN, that's the
So I'm
main
saying that
ID.
you have your biometric data also
Yes.
collected, linked to your passport, don't you?
You have biometric data linked to your passport, but we've come to the point where the number one ID, the one that we find credible now, the one that we think can help us minimize all these things is the Ghana card. And we are on that page that we need a national ID.
So those who have been able to get the Ghana card, are we not able to collect those biometric data to re-register their chips, just in case government wants to do all this consolidation and put it in one?
Are you linking your SIM card to your Ghana card before you do a proper verification at the MNO? Right. So you go, the MNO do take your biometrics to confirm. Biometrics cannot be taken at the MNO's office without you being present.
Yeah.
You have to be there for your biometrics to be taken. Fortunately, an app, like the minister said, to further ease this.
I'm talking about those that have been taken already.
Have been taken already.
Biometrics?
When you're going to register, Annie, when you're going to register when you're going to take a Ghana card, your biometrics are taken. This Ghana card is what you're using to register your SIM card. There should be some form of verification. Your biometrics you need to be there for your biometrics to be verified. But even with the national ID, I remember when they started registration, and I think this is another thing that we also need to be looking at. This morning, have you by chance taken your reporters out to check if they are queues at these MNOs? Are we waiting till 28th or 29th September before we start rushing to the MNOs?
Are you referring to Eslawusu's post on Twitter?
What post?
She said that she had heard someone was in a queue, and when upon hearing that the closing date or the disconnection date was postponed, the person left the queue.
It's possible. We are all Ghanaians, and we know how we put that last minute thing. Now it's been extended to September. I think you also help us a lot if you let your cameras go out there and pick the feedback. Why do we by all means have to put a closing date on people re-registering their chips? And we're not just being fair to Ghanaians who already have their chips registered with the telcos. How can't we just simply do this with the telcos without even putting the Ghanaians through the stress we're putting them through? You already have nobody enjoys putting Ghanaians through stress.
So why are you doing it?
It becomes necessary.
How is this necessary?
Annie, it was October to March.
I'm not talking about
Annie, you see, let's put
even if it's 10 years you've given to Ghanaians to do this re-registration, I'm saying that why can't we do that with the telcos who already have our chips registered?
Telcos are private entities. Hitherto, your data was with them. That's a private entity. It comes with rules and regulations, all that.
Exactly.
But I will sleep better.
My
I will
thinking.
sleep better if my details are with the state, so to say, the state-mandated agency that is mandated to do that. Annie, don't let us also put it as if today, if I have to go and get a SIM, I have to go through the whole. Getting SIMs is a continuous process. When the telco started operating, MTN now, I think Spacephone then, has 024. Vodafone, GT then, has 020. Now they all have numbers in 054. The last one I saw was 059. You get it? It's a continuous process, but the existing ones need to be regularized. 6 months were given. When did we start seeing the queues? We started seeing the queues getting to the end of March. It was extended. We started seeing the queues getting to the end of July. It's been extended to September. Have you seen any can you confirm if they are accused? Are we waiting till September? Your SIMs are already in the system. Those coming in from abroad can get SIM cards for 90 days. If they want to use it longer, they can do it. The NIA has a non-resident, a non-citizen version of the cards. We need to do it. It's something we all agree is the right thing to do.
How about this app that will charge 5 cedis from the customer to register?
There are two options. You go to the MNO, or if you want to sit in the convenience of your home and register, it comes at a surcharge of 5 cedis.
Let's look at this simple scenario.
Yes.
I'm a Ghanaian. I have registered my chip. I'm working with the telcos as a private organization. I pay taxes to government when I make calls. When I transfer money, I pay taxes as well on that. And the government says that I want to re-register your chip. With no fault of mine, government says I want to re-register your chip because government wants to improve on the digitalization process or programs, and says that you have to use an app or you have to go to an office to do the registration. Remember, when I move to that office, I'm using transportation, so I'm paying. If I don't move and I'm using the app, I'm paying 5 cedis for using the app.
Yes.
Is this fair?
The SIM registration, the normal process, which is linking your Ghana card to your SIM card and going to the MNO, is free. The extra step of convenience. If today I decide to go to a food joint and pay and buy food, I buy the food, I pay for it, I either eat there or carry it myself to my house. But if I sit in the comfort of my home, avoiding all the risk, avoiding all the hassle in the traffic, avoiding all the queues to do it. Someone is bringing the service to your doorstep. You pay for that service. So there are options. So the SIM registration, as it was started, is still as it is, but it's that convenience that comes with it.
Did we have an app? I think we've had so many apps in the system. Did we have an app for Ghana card registration? We didn't, right?
None that I know of.
For Ghana card, we didn't create an app for it.
But Annie, the way Ghana card is, probably along the way they might consider, I don't know, they might consider getting an. They might consider getting an app for renewal because your sister, your data.
Ghana card recorded our contacts.
Yes.
It took our biometric details.
Yes.
How?
It took your home address. It took
everything.
Everything. Yes.
So, why can't Ghana card in itself, with all the data it has collected, be used to do re-registration for those who have been able to acquire it?
That's what is being done.
And wait for those who don't have to get it. And then as you get it, the process is linked. And then you can be doing the re-registration even with the information provided on your Ghana card without even the person knowing that my chip has been re-registered by the government.
You want government to register the SIM cards on the blind side of the user?
The blind side of
the user?
No,
I'm not getting what you're saying.
No, government can even do a communication.
Yes.
To provide the information to the people that this is what we're doing. So your Ghana card information that you're using, we're linking it to the contacts that you have provided. You should know that we're re-registering you. Government is gathering its own data. And I don't think any Ghanaian will rise in arms and be upset about it. Why can't we just do something? Okay, I don't have
the way
enough
you're putting it is a bit, but what I'm saying is probably down the line. I mean, technology improves. Probably when NIA along the way, probably they might have an app or some system for you to do new renewal. But I think fresh registration, they need to verify
a lot of things. They need to take your biometric data and all that. But once that database is cleaned up and authenticated, I think there should be a way to do renewal of your card. Yes, that's what I'm saying. As they go on, I'm sure probably they are even thinking about it. I may not know. But for fresh registration, I think is ideal. And when Ghana Card started, I remember very well, that's how I got my Ghana Card. That was in 2018. They went round almost all the public service institutions and civil service institutions, put staff there, registered. That's how I got my card.
And we didn't pay for that?
But nobody's paying for Ghana Card.
Are we paying for SIM registration?
You're not paying for SIM registration.
You are.
How are you paying for SIM registration?
Don't you travel a distance to go and do SIM registration? Don't you travel a distance to go and do Ghana Card today? And the SIM app that is being provided, are we not supposed to be paying 5 cedis?
And Annie, I'm paying for being at Metro TV.
Of course.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make it. You said that when the service is provided at your doorstep, you pay. But I'm telling you that previously...
No, what I'm saying is that the last minute, when Ghana Card started, probably if Ghana Card had also put a deadline, we'll be facing some of these things. But Annie, the deadline is for existing today. If I want to get a SIM card now, all I do is take my Ghana Card or go and get a SIM card and leave it. I don't need to go through this whole process. But once you don't have the card, you need to get a card.
Okay.
And NIA has offices. They are even still growing. They have offices. The inconvenience is not something that anybody is happy about. But it's something that must be done for us to have a credible database. You can't do anything in a nation without knowing the number of people, without you being able to know your demographics properly, without you being able to know your age brackets. And that is the problem that Ghana Card is solved. And you and I agree that we need that national ID. With the way technology is growing, if we don't start being able to trace people with what they use their SIM cards for, some didn't even know that even the data SIMs that we are using, you have to register them.
Okay, Beatrice is looking at the time because our time is almost up.
How many minutes am I going to speak? Because you've given her about 25 minutes. So how many minutes do I have?
Implementing, so what are you
No, I'm asking her because I just wanted to know how unfair
Let's
she's
start now.
I didn't even
I'm
flow
sorry, let's start
continuously
now.
for 5 minutes. She kept asking me questions, but she's going to leave
That
you
is
to talk
true, and it's
without
fair. So Beatrice, you go ahead.
Asking you any question.
I listened to the press conference by the minister yesterday, and I would have thought that Madame Eslausu would have gone to her 18-year-old son for some wisdom on policy implementation, because by this time, the son is 24 years. In 2016, he was 18. 6 years down the line, I think he's 24 years. Because she told us that if all you need to be in government is what the NDC was doing, her 18-year-old son would have done a better job. But yesterday, listening to her, I think she should get over herself, come down to the level of every Ghanaian, and know that when you are in leadership, it's for service. It's not a place for you to exercise some form of self-aggrandizement. It's not a place for you to believe that what you say is final. And sometimes I like her personally. I like strong women, so I like her personally. But I think she should get over herself. Because for her to say that she reluctantly agreed to extend the deadline, who is she? She doesn't have any capacity, howsoever described, to cut off anybody's SIM card. You know, sometimes certain things we all allow for administrative purposes. But what law is backing what she's doing? What regulation gives her that power to do and implement what she's doing in the manner she's doing it? She should calm down. She should take coffee. She should chill. And because you see, yesterday, and Lorato attempted to talk about girls in ICT. The achievement of the NDC government in the area of the Ministry of Communication, and for that matter, communication, they haven't even done 10%. And so she should, in fact, even the headquarters where they sit, the NCA sits to give these directives, they should come down and know that somebody through a vision put up that headquarters. This SIM card registration thing that they've taken it as a World Cup, somebody laid the fiber optics. Somebody laid the foundation. We have done SIM card registration in this country before. This is not the first time. And so they shouldn't make it like they are saving, this is our salvation to wherever they want to take us.
You see where your problem is.
They should come
NDC.
down.
I hope you get me now.
I get you.
Okay.
I get you now.
You're here to solve NDC problems.
But let me say
No, I'm
that.
here to
let me say that
expose
yesterday,
their issues.
She herself, in her presentation, acknowledged that data from the NIA showed 832,000 people do not have their cards, even though they have registered. This is no fault of theirs. Yes. So if you give a deadline of September, and she, in the most arrogant manner, told us that she's not responsible and she's not NIA, and so all questions should be directed to NIA. So she cannot tell that by the end of September, the NIA would have issued the 832,000 cards. Then why the deadline to September 30th? Is it because it will make her feel good? You know, when it comes to policy formulation, implementation, and policy synergy, policy makers must take their time and listen to a feedback, because I am for the SIM card re-registration. I believe that the SIM card re-registration should be done if we have identified an issue of fraud with the SIM card registration. And so there is a need for us to sanitize the data. But the kind of mood that Madame Eslowusu and this government is exploring will affect data credibility. Because of the manner in which they are doing it. People are registering the SIM card with the Ghana card of other people. The people who don't have the Ghana card. So the point really is that if you look at what they are doing, it is obvious that they have no solution. Madame Esla Owusu also said that amputees have challenges registering, and based on some of these considerations, she was going to extend. I want to find out, by September, would the amputees have developed hands? After 30th September, the amputees would have developed hands. The challenges she herself outlined are not challenges which would have been solved by 30th September. So why the rush? Why the rush? Why? It is just a matter of procurement politics between the Ministry of Communication, the NCA, and the NIA. Purely procurement politics.
But they're also trying to solve a problem, as Loretta mentioned.
Which problem?
The last minute attempts. When you give a timeline, people wait until like 1 month to the deadline.
Let me show you.
Then they start rushing and trooping. When you do that, you put pressure on the system. That's not what it is.
Every policy of this government has been calculated to pickpocket Ghanaians. And I can give you a plethora of examples. You know, when you register your SIM card, the NIA doesn't take your live biometric. You've registered your SIM card. They have something, you put your fingers down, and then they snap pictures. So it's not even a live biometric. In a release dated 21st September 2021, the NIA told us that the mode of registration by the NCA currently, which does not capture the live biometric of citizens, they have no way to authenticate that biometric data. So what is the essence of linking your Ghana card to the SIM card registration? If the primary source, which is the NIA, says that the manner in which you, the NCA, you are capturing the biometric data, we cannot verify the authenticity or the validity of it. We are back to the same thing. What mischief was cured? I have the release here. I can send it to you. The NIA said they cannot guarantee the credibility of the data that the telcos are taking. So why? What is the rush? What is the rush about it, if not for procurement purpose? Somebody has to convince me that some mischief will be cured. Because you see, I have my Ghana card. And if you look at the forms that you fill for the Ghana card, your telephone numbers are taken, your passport number, your SNET number, your driver's license are all taken. Why can't you just use this data? Take it directly from the NIA. And that is what Professor Ateifa himself has been advocating, that you take it directly and verify it with the telcos. Why do we have to go through the queue? And for me, the weakest link in an already weak argument about this SIM card registration was when we are told that there is an app which will be launched. So all this while, the minister knew that it was possible for registration to be done via an app, but she chose to reluctantly, in a way she reluctantly likes to give or extend deadlines. She reluctantly waited. And then when the deadline she herself gave was over, she now told us that this week she would, out of magnanimity, for want of a better expression, now bring us some app for us to register and pay 5 cedis. Why do members of the NPP have such entitled mentality? They have some mentality of entitlement. I have heard a minister say that, yeah, GMI. And so perhaps she has this perception that Ghana belongs to her, or some way, somehow, they own Ghana. Why would you want to subject citizens to so much frustration? During COVID, this government wanted voter...
I mean, to be fair to her, that statement, I'm told, was said in a context.
I watched her.
In a particular context.
I watched her live. What particular context? I watched her. It's not hearsay. I watched her. It's no context.
Yeah, but
unless
if she comes back to explain that it was said in a particular context, she's being taken out of context.
That's post facto rationalization. I won't take that. I watched her personally. So let me make my point. Why would this government say that in COVID, we want a new voter's ID card? We queued for weeks, productive hours being wasted for the voter's ID card. You said Ghana card, which could have been a continuous process, which every citizen can get access to at their own time. You said you wanted it done en bloc, it was done. Now you want us to queue again for another registration. Why? And when you listen to the reasoning for the deadlines and all the excuses they are giving, you just can't tell who advisors of governments are. It is most unfortunate. During the COVID-19, the same minister launched a COVID app. Where is that app? You know, the government has a penchant for using state resources in the most reckless manner. For them, it doesn't matter whether there is value for money. It just has to be done when somebody feels like it has to be done. And you don't run a country, especially in the post-COVID economy, where today you are gloriously dancing to the IMF in the manner in which the government is running it. And the statistics the minister herself gave us shows that out of the 42 million active mobile subscribers, only 16 million people have fully registered. The rest of the 26 million people have not registered. So then the question is, if even out of the 26 million people who have not registered, just 16 million people have to use the app and pay 5 cedis, you can imagine how much money. Was the Kelny GVG money not enough? Is it not okay? Should people not have, how do you call it, breaks to the extent to which they will subject citizens to such maltreatment? Should people not pause and say that we are leaders and we are there for and on behalf of the citizens? I think that this issue of the Ghana card is just one of the ways that unless government has some mischievous reason, I personally don't see the rush. There is no need to rush because you see, even after the deadline, even after the registration, even after everything, people will buy new SIM cards. So registration will be a continuous process. And the logic of the Ministry of Communication is that they trust foreigners who have procured passports from elsewhere that they don't know and they can't verify that data. They trust that their passports are more valid. So foreigners can register the SIM card with their passports until they are able, for those who are residents, until they are able to get the Ghana card, and then they can update. But the passports which were issued, some which were issued with the primary documents being the Ghana card and issued to Ghanaians, cannot be trusted. The minister trusts foreign passports compared to our passport. And so I would urge the minister to calm down. When she's speaking to Ghanaians, she should not speak to us as though we are her children. At least the last time I checked, she's paid from our taxes. And so some modicum of decency and respect to the people of Ghana, especially in communicating your policies, is most admirable. And she could have said everything she said without telling us that she has reluctantly extended the deadline. She should cut people from using the SIM card. This is a government that, when you projected $6.9 billion from e-levy, Fitch, Moody, S&P downgraded you. Ghana went into the junk status, even with a revenue projection of $6.9 billion from e-levy. Just last week, during the mid-year review, we have revised every growth indicator downwards. Now we are being told that e-levy is 600 million. So with 42 million subscribers, you were not even able to make 1 million cedis from e-levy as revenue. And now the minister is not happy. So by 30th September, she will just cut off some people. How are they going to get their e-levy? The e-levy, which is our passport and salvation to heaven.
Right. Let
me conclude and say that the NPP is not doing anybody a favor. We all want credible data. We all want to stop cyber fraud. We all want to help government to do the right thing, because when the cyberspace is protected, we are all protected. But they shouldn't lord it over us. How do we pay when you want to collect data? Who gave the minister the power to impose fees? So this is most unfortunate, and they should come home. They should be humble. This arrogance that has entered their heads, that is practically dictating every sector, is not good.
Right. So, Sisi, I shall allow beaches to flow. Sisi, you're not being fair, because I actually even interjected a lot when.
Because you gave her lots of time.
She took half of it.
So, okay, this is a lot. So let me just jump. I think someone is trying to pick on your office, PCRC. It's a lot. But let me just try and see what I can do about it. It's a lot, but let me capture. This one says, Annie, did the president say MPP should help? Okay. So what is PCRC, meaning Sister Law Musa, is a deputy executive secretary? Why not the executive secretary? This is to enable me know whether or not she has been properly placed, comparing her pedigree to those who have been placed on juicy jobs as a result of their family membership of a member of the president. I don't know what you're talking about. He says, I wish you all the best, and she should not despair. Almighty God has himself. We'll make a way. That's what time will allow me. Let me just take a break.
No, Annie.
I have to go.
Beatrice made an emphatic statement that she doesn't know the law backing
my
what is being done.
Else. I shouldn't
Don't
take a break.
quote to me
I
that airline.
That's what you said.
Don't quote to me that airline that you are coming to quote. That's not what is giving the minister the power to do what she's doing. So don't quote that airline.
You know what? Go to the NCA website. Go to the NCA. No, but you see,
Go ahead.
Annie,
just
apart from she's saying there's an ally,
I will have a time to reback if she does.
1 minute each.
Yes.
Electronics Communication Act was amended by them in 2016. But that said, she should check on those laws. But I think that
I
think that when we sit here to talk, we should be careful the way we talk and the way we address people that we've been put in positions. If today I sit down here and ask, who is Beatrice? Who is she?
Nobody.
You know, this
I'm
attitude, and this is not the first time she's doing that. It keeps coming up. But for you to say, who is she? She's the minister responsible for communications and digitalization. Today, if there's something going wrong with telcos, whose name do we mention? Whose name? She is the one the president has mandated to take care of that sector, bring back feedback, and decisions will be taken. The feedback that she took, and what she said about the amputees was, she said they're having challenges. That doesn't mean amputees are not being registered for. The system has been designed to capture the iris.
Okay.
That is what they use. So sometimes when we come here to talk, let's tone down on the arrogance. What do you mean by who is she? Who are you?
I'm nobody.
Who are you?
Because you see, I'm nobody.
Let's be careful. We are younger people. These are people who have sat here. It's because of people like them that today you and I can sit here and talk on Good Morning Ghana. Let's be careful.
And you say you are nobody.
This is a woman who called President Mahama a thief.
Let's be very careful.
This is a woman who called President Mahama a thief.
If you want to deal with the issues, deal with the issues. You don't come and reduce them. What do you mean by who is she? Who are you?
Okay,
I'm nobody.
Let her also have it.
This is a woman who called President Mahama a thief. President Mahama has water flowing through his veins. I'm saying that when you are in leadership, you are there to serve. You are no better than the people you serve. And so when there is a challenge or you are implementing a policy, do not come and impose it on us.
The issues,
because
Beatrice.
You have no capacity
Tone down the
whatsoever
arrogance. It doesn't help anybody.
You are doing that
We are just starting.
Then she should be the first person to tone down.
We are just starting.
She should be the first person to tone down.
If you found what she did then wrong, why repeating it?
I haven't insulted her.
Why
I'm telling
repeating
her
it?
that leadership is about service.
Who is she?
And when they put you
really
in a position,
come on.
You have to serve.
It's because of some of those people that today some of us have the opportunity to sit here and talk.
That's for you.
All right. Okay, that's what time will allow us. That's what time will allow us. Thank you, ladies, for making time with me here on Good Morning Ghana.